Hey folks, welcome to Hey Big Grilling. Now, it is the day after my little tooth extraction, oral surgery, whatever. So we're needing soft foods recipes, right? So we're gonna go with some chicken dumplings. I know we made chicken dumplings about 3 months ago, but I think it's gonna be something more than just opening a package of mashed potatoes. So let's get started. All right, folks, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna put these thin sliced chicken breast down into my crock pot. Yes, I still don't have my crock pot liners, but it'll be all right. We're gonna get these things laid down in the bottom here. All right, so this is what it's looking like in the crock pot. Like I said, it's those real thin layer or thin sliced chicken breast. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna come in with some garlic powder, sprinkle it all over the chicken, and then come in with some onion powder, sprinkle it over, and then I'm gonna flip these dudes over and get that other side of them, get them nice and seasoned up with some onion and garlic powder. All right, next thing I'm gonna do is take some chicken broth. Now what I want to do with this is just pour just enough in here to where my chicken doesn't dry out as it's cooking. All right, so because these are so thinly sliced, I'm gonna set this to a 4-hour cook, but I'm gonna check on it here in about 2 hours. So the reason I'm going with the chicken in the crock pot is because I want this chicken to be just like shreddable, like we do with the roast or the pork chops we do in the crock pot. I'm almost worried that even the canned chicken is still maybe just a little too firm for me to try to eat. So I'm wanting this chicken to be as tender as I can possibly get it. And the only way I could think of to get it super tender would be putting it in the crock pot. So we're gonna see if this works or not. Yes sir, yes ma'am, this is gonna be perfect for our chicken and dumplings. I'm just gonna finish kind of busting the rest of them up here. And then we're just gonna put this, once it's all nice and shredded, we're just gonna stick this in the fridge till it's ready, time to start making our dumplings. All right, so that took us right at 2 hours in the crock pot. And that's good. It was about 1.5 pounds of the real thin sliced chicken breast. So during the week, I normally don't have time to do something like that. And honestly, when I do the thicker ones in the crock pot all day, the chicken never seems to really turn out as tender and juicy because I can't monitor it. But I'm really excited for how this chicken is going to turn out in our dumplings. All right, folks, so now it's time to get this chicken dumplings going. So we're going to add 48 ounces of chicken broth to our Dutch oven. We're going to add 1 can of cream of mushroom soup, followed by 1 can of cream of chicken soup. Now these were both the 10.5 ounce cans. So we're going to add that into our pot. Remember that chicken we cooked earlier today? Yes, in the old crocky pot. We're going to add that into the pot. So that chicken really kind of flopped in there a lot more violently than I intended. But now we're just going to kind of mix this all around. Try to break the cream of mushroom and cream of chicken soup up best we can here. Mix it in with our chicken. And I'm gonna go ahead and set my burner. I'm gonna set it to a medium low heat because we still got one last step we gotta do before we can really get this thing rumbling, tumbling, and going. All right, so I got my 1 can of biscuits. I'm gonna take them biscuits, lay them out here on this parchment paper. Get all of them laid out. And I'm gonna try something a little different today because I still ain't bought me a rolling pin like I done said I was going to. So we're gonna set this about here. Lay this sheet here over the top of them biscuits. And then I'm gonna take me a soda can here, just kind of roll them out, flatten these biscuits out. Just about like that, okay? There we go. I'd say that's pretty resourceful, huh? But we're just gonna do all of our biscuits this way. I got our biscuits laid out. I'm just gonna take me a knife, a little old butter knife, and I'm just gonna kind of cut it right down like this. Now, I have found out in the past, if you cut these things down too small, they pretty much render down to nothing. And they're good in your chicken and dumplings when you get a bite of them, but it's kind of rare that you get a bite of them. So we're just gonna cut them about like this, cut them in half again. That'll be about the size we wanna go with right here. So we're just gonna cut up all of our biscuits into our dumplings. So now that I got my dumplings cut up and prepped and ready, before we add them in, we're gonna bump our heat up to a medium high. We wanna get this to a good rumbling boil. If not, if you put them in there before you reach that boil, the dumplings won't cook the way that they should. So we're gonna wait until this comes to a nice little rumble tumbling boil here. All right, folks, we're getting that good rumbling boil going. So we're just gonna start dropping our dumplings down into the mixture here, or into the pot. Just kind of place them around throughout. No real pattern, you just don't want to obviously just drop them down on top of each other. Folks, so we got our dumplings in here, and we got it pretty doggone filled up with dumplings. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna reduce our heat down just low enough to where we can keep a decent little rumbling boil. So about a medium high, maybe right at a medium. And we're gonna put our lid on it and let it go. Now we got to pay attention and kind of check in on it periodically to stir the contents to make sure none of those dumplings stick to the bottom or stick to the side of the Dutch oven. And we've not quite been in this house a year yet. July will be a year that we've lived here. And this stove, I'm still getting used to this stove because it burns a lot warmer than the stove did at the previous house. So just kind of periodically, you know, learn your stove. Like I've said it about the grill many times, learn your grill. Same thing with the stove. Figure it out so that way, you know, you don't take a chance of overcooking something. So we just reduced ours actually down to almost a medium low there, just to keep that little low rumbling boil going. All right, folks, so our chicken and dumplings is done. And the way I checked it was I took one of the dumplings and kind of tore it apart to make sure it wasn't still gooey and doughy in the middle. So we're gonna remove it from the heat and let it set for just a little bit. I went ahead and made my wife a bowl. I'm gonna have to wait until this cools off considerably because I've got stitches in my mouth, so I don't want to take a chance of them disintegrating or, you know, whatever they call it, dissolving. But I went ahead and made her a bowl, and I wanted to show y'all this yummy goodness, the dumplings, the chicken. It smells great. All right, folks, so I think it's cooled off enough. We're gonna give that all important taste test. Now, I gotta take some pretty small bites, so we got a little bit of a dumpling on here. So here we go with it. Ooh. That's a real good dumpling. Very good flavor. And it was nice and full. You know, it wasn't real skimpy, real thin. Very good cooked dumpling. My wife yelled back a while ago, this is probably the best dumplings I've made yet. I don't know how they're all the same as I've always done it, but I know it's warming up outside and it's not a meal you generally think of, but you know, hey, if you gotta eat some soft foods, why not eat some good soft foods, right? So this is our chicken and dumplings made easy. So y'all please like, subscribe, and we'll see y'all later.